YouTubers, it's Nurse J at Nursing the Truth. I hope everyone's having a great Wednesday. So, I hope you've been watching my series about the sexual perversion in the New Testament. So, the Roman PISO family did a great injustice to these holy books. So, watch my videos on Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Now we're going to go to the book of John and see what type of sexual perversions we have in that book. Now it says, the author says that there's much more to the Gospel of John. But they couldn't cover it all in this book because there's so much. And the purpose, again, of listing all of these instances that occur within the New Testament text is to provide the reader with the information necessary for being able to see and understand the true sexual nature of the text and to prove that this theme is consistent throughout all of the New Testament material. John 4:22 is both a disclaimer and a declaration, and it hints at what we've already discovered. You worship, you know not what. Now, what kind of sentence is that, you're thinking? I don't get that. That's kind of a weird sentence. You know, I found a lot of sentences in the New Testament that just didn't make sense. But there's a reason. That what is sexual perversion as represented in the form of a phallus, that is depravity and the phallic god of lust. John 4:35, lift up your eyes. Knowing the meaning of the word eyes, you can figure out what this means. It was already explained earlier. John 5:8, rise and take up your bed and walk. This is the same joke that was explained in Mark 2:12 and Luke 18:15. John 6:5, when Jesus slash PISO then lifted up his eyes, he, PISO, had his sex slaves position themselves, most likely in a row, to be mounted by him and his friends with their behinds up, offering easier access. The lusts of your father you will do with him. This is a phrase of no doubt that was used to convince children to submit to their incest with their parents. There are many such passages throughout the New Testament, and remember, they were put there on purpose and were deliberately crafted for you. John 9:6, he, Jesus, spat on the ground and made clay of his spittle, and he anointed the eyes with the clay. Well, spat could mean ejaculate, and he may have used something mixed with it to make a salve of some kind. Remember that we do know the meaning of some of the words in this sentence. We are then able to deduce what the rest of it may mean. For example, knowing their crude form of sexual humor, it is not hard to imagine them joking about the word spat as meaning ejaculation. And then one of them were to ejaculate on the ground, turning that into a joke about them having made clay. John 9:10, how thine eyes opened. John 9:11. A man called Jesus made clay and anointed mine eyes. John 21:5. Then Jesus therefore says to them, little children, have you any food? This is a very dirty statement, knowing the true sexual nature of the New Testament text. Arius Piso lets those who are privy to his meaning imagine what kind of sexual food he could be giving to the little children. For those who wonder, he answers thus saying in the following verses that this food is fishes. Our research, the author says, has already revealed that fish or fishes refer to sex organs. In this instance, the male sex organs. So now the privy reader may understand what his statement actually means. You see, we have been fooled for way too long. And I want to tell you something. You can get online and read a book by Abelard Rushlin. All you have to do in your search engine is look for the origins of the New Testament by the PISO family or something to that nature, or Abelard Rushlin. He is the man that found out who the characters are and their alias names in the centuries. You see, the writers had their real birth name, but they also had pen names. You know, like Mark Twain. You know, they're never going to give you who really wrote this. And they did a wonderful, wonderful job on hiding the truth. But when we have the puzzle pieces fitting together like a fine glove, we are now able to strip piece by piece, bit by bit, and tear this book up for what it is. You see, I'm not a religious person. I'm not in a religion. I am not an orthodoxy. I am Nurse J. I am me. I have my own thoughts, my words, my actions. And that is just who I am. I used to be tangled in the tight web of lies. And I am sorry for the millions and millions of people and all these other religions, the monotheistic religions of the world, how they have been manipulated, played, pocketbooked with their money, kneeling down to murderous gods and sacrifices. Oh, truth seekers, so many gods, so many gods, so many, whoever they are, Anunnaki, creatures, divine beings, helpers, destroyers. But you see, one of the gods in the Old Testament says, I do not require sacrifice. Who told you to do that? So there again, search for the truth and let the truth set you free. And we will see you next time, my friends. Have a great evening. Goodbye.